Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook here, and it's week 9 in the NFL, which means it's time for our NFL midseason mock draft as we take an early look at some of the prospects that you want to keep an eye on here at Football Game Plan Scouting. First, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. Number 1, picks are based off of what I would do as a GM, not what I'm hearing or sources tell me XYZ or what I think will happen, but based off what I personally would do as the general manager of each team. Now, this is a midseason mock, so no official grades are there just yet. This is just more of an idea of some of the more popular players that's draft eligible that you want to keep an eye on. Now, the picks are based off what I would do or what I believe the team needs are for the individual squads, and no trades is self-explanatory. And so is the last point. It's just a mock draft, so don't tie up your tank and getting upset. Relax, chill, unclench, and just enjoy the video. As of right now, the Jets own the number 1 overall pick, and I personally feel that there is still something there in Sam Darnold to work with, so I wouldn't completely move off of him just yet. He just has to be able to stay healthy, and I love how the Jets aced last year's first-round pick Mekhi Becton, and I want to help that offensive line out by giving them another stellar bookend, which is why I went with the Oregon Duck tackle, Penei Sewell. He's one of the top-tier overall offensive linemen in the draft and would give the Jets their version of what Baltimore has with Ronnie Stanley and Orlando Brown. Securing up front essentially helps everyone out offensively. Now let's take a look at the rest of the top 10. The Dolphins have 2 first-round picks, and for me, they lack explosiveness and game-breaking ability at the running back position, so why not roll the dice with Travis Etienne out of Clemson, who gives them that home run capability from the backfield, and he would really help unlock their offense as a whole. Both Washington and New England are devoid of elite perimeter options, so adding Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts out of Florida, respectively, would help remedy that situation for them. Now, going back to the 2nd and 3rd picks in this mock, starting with the Giants, I gave them Trevor Lawrence because, in my opinion, Daniel Jones' inability to protect the football has cost the Giants a lot of ball games, so he can't be trusted no matter how many quote-unquote flashes that he shows. Lawrence gives them one of the better quarterback prospects coming out of college and has proven himself time and time again on the biggest of stages in the biggest of games. He'll give the Giants a franchise quarterback they've been looking for post Eli Manning. Now in Jacksonville, Justin Fields will give them the same thing. He's a quiet, confident leader in the same realm of Deshaun Watson. He's got tremendous upside, a great understanding of the position, and gives them a +1 in the run game, which is extremely valuable in today's game. Now the Jaguars do have some solid weapons on the perimeter, and Fields will help unlock that passing game, making them a serious threat in the AFC. The Cincinnati Bengals currently own the 11th pick in the NFL draft, and it's all about protecting Joe Burrow, and for me, I'm going with Trey Smith out of Tennessee. He's a legit bully up front, one that is good on both ends of offense. Inside as a guard, Smith would help bolster the Bengals' run game while keeping interior pressure from getting to Burrow. It's imperative that the Bengals get better up front, and Smith will go a long way in accomplishing that goal. Now looking at the rest of the picks, 11 through 20, and the Dolphins take edge rusher Kwity Paye out of Michigan to help bolster their defensive front 7. Chicago gets a very solid developmental quarterback prospect in Trey Lance out of North Dakota State, who should be brought along slowly at the next level considering his lack of game experience, but he is a solid prospect nonetheless. And how about Philly adding another explosive talent to go along with Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham with Alabama's Devonta Smith going in out there on the perimeter. Now, I went quarterback for San Francisco because I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo, and he also has proven to not be the most durable of players at the most critical position. Zach Wilson out of BYU, in my opinion, is the perfect Kyle Shanahan quarterback as he has all of the traits that he covers at the position: mobility, accuracy on the move, accuracy downfield, and on top of that, he gets very good velocity on all of his throws and is a fearless passer in the pocket. Wilson is a tremendous prospect and would be an ideal selection for San Francisco. We'll stop right here and take a quick commercial break, but I want to remind you, you can pre-order your copy of our 2021 NFL Draft Guide. You can find that at footballgameplan.com/2021 Draft Guide. Be sure to order your copy of the Go-Go Offense by Coach Brennan Marion on footballgameplan.com/Go-Go Offense. Coach Marion goes through the ins and outs of his explosive offense, one that's tearing up the college football field and putting a lot of points on the scoreboard. Again, you can order your copy at footballgameplan.com/Go-Go Offense. Jacksonville is back on the clock with their 2nd first-round pick, and I want to help out the back end with safety Richard LeCounte out of Georgia, who's one of the best playmakers at the position in the draft class. And every time you look up, he has the ball in his hands, and that's the type of players I want On my defense, LeCount has great speed and range and is a bit of an enforcer over the middle of the field as well. Looking at the rest of the picks, 21 through 30, and you see a big run on wide receivers. Now, granted, we probably won't see this many receivers going round one, but it is a tremendous class of playmakers out there on the flanks. I like the fit of Rondale Moore in Indianapolis. I think he gives them a newer version of T.Y. Hilton. Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State in New Orleans gives them a strong prospect with very good explosiveness at the position. And Terrence Marshall out of LSU, who is having a fantastic season, lands in Baltimore, giving franchise quarterback and reigning MVP Lamar Jackson another stellar playmaker out there on the perimeter. The Jets are back on the clock at pick 30, and I went defense with Pitt's pass rusher Patrick Jones. He has a great knack for getting to the quarterback and has 7.5 sacks so far this season for the Pitt Panthers. He would give the Jets a legitimate presence coming off the edge up front. Now the Steelers round out the first round with a Steeler-like prospect in Pete Freiermuth out of Penn State. The tight end position hasn't been a threat since Heath Miller retired, and adding the well-rounded prospect out of Penn State that many call Baby Gronk just adds another young, talented weapon on offense for defense to try to game plan for. Now, 3 teams don't have first-round picks this year. That's the Texans, the Rams, and the Seahawks. And I wanted to give Deshaun Watson some help on offense with an excellent talent and running back Najee Harris out of Alabama. He reminds me a lot of Steven Jackson. He's good between the tackles, has the quickness to get outside, and is a strong receiver in the passing game. He gives them a legit bell cow, so to speak, for the first time in quite some time. In Los Angeles, they get their future left tackle in Liam Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. Andrew Whitworth can't play forever, and Eichenberg comes in with tremendous polish on both ends of offense and would help keep this offense flowing with his ability up front. And finally, the Seattle Seahawks grab the talented corner J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. The Seahawks need to continue to get better on the back end, and Horn gives them a solid press guy with ball skills tailor-made for that Seahawks secondary. So that's it for this midseason mock draft. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts, and don't forget to check out and subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network located at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Also subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast and leave us a 5-star rating. And for more Football Game Plan scouting notes, videos, tidbits, scouting reports, visit footballgameplan.com/FBGP scouting.